Okay, so we'll start off by creating a button. And there are a few ways you can create a button, but today I will be using a click detector, and there's also a proximity prompt, but if you want to learn how to do that, I have a separate video on that. So insert a click detector into your part, and I will just rename this button. And now we need to insert a server script, and inside of here we have a print hello world, which we'll delete for now. And first thing we need to do is create a variable click detector, and that will be equal to script.parent, and then click detector.mouse click :connect. So this is how you connect to a function, and then write function in here. And inside of these brackets you can type player, so we know which player has clicked the button, and then we can do print player.name has clicked the button. And I don't know if you're new to the studio, but another thing you need is an output. So if you go to the view, you can open Explorer, which is this, and Properties, which is this tab, and also Output up here. And now if I click on this, we get ErExx master has clicked on the button. But you can see that I can kind of spam it, which is probably not ideal for other functions. So let's add a debounce. To add a debounce, I will just create a new variable. And you can think of debounce as kind of a delay check, so I will just show you. Create an if statement, so if debounced, then, and by doing if something, this is basically saying that if it's equal to true, but you don't actually need to type this because it will check if it's true. So if it is true, then we'll set it to false, so you can't activate it anymore. Then I will cut this, paste it down here, and then we can do task.wait, and then how much you need to wait for delay before you can click again. So I'll do 1 second, and then debounce equals true again. So just to go over it one more time, you create a variable, then you set an if statement if it's true, and then if it is, then set it to false, then do something, I don't know, in this case it's printing, then wait 1 second, and then you set it to true again. And this way you can't really spam it. I don't know if you can hear my mouse, but basically you can see that it's going a lot slower than the last time. Okay, and this is good, but it's not really cool as I promised, so let's do something cooler. First we'll delete this print because it's kind of stupid, we don't really need printing. And then we'll actually create another function, local function, and you can name it create explosion. So insert a part here, and this is basically a perimeter. So what a perimeter is, it's literally just passing one instance or an object or a value into a function so we can use it inside of this. And then you can do local explosion equals instance.new. If you don't know what instance.new is, it's basically just creating new stuff. And you can either do this, so .parent equals part, or you could literally just write a comma here and then put part. So while creating instance.new, you can just input a parent right here. Now we can delete this, and I think we need a blast pressure, so I'll put it to 10 for now. Explosion.blast radius equal to 10. Explosion. I think we need visible, I'm not really sure about this. And last thing, explosion.position, which a lot of people actually forget to do, equals part.position. So the explosion isn't somewhere in the middle of the map or something, it needs to be at the position of the part. Okay, so now that we have that, you can literally just copy this name, paste it in here, and in here obviously we can just put part because we don't have any part, but you can copy this click detector and just do click detector.parent. So then this part will have the explosion. And if I click it, you can see that it explodes. And okay, this is a bit cooler, but I think we can make something even more fun. Okay, so instead of this line, you can literally like cut it out for now. We will create a for loop, so for I equals 1 in 10, do local new part equals instance.new, and then just do part, and then comma workspace. So this will basically spawn 10 new parts, and we'll also need a local random x equals mad.random, and you can input 100, -100. And you can copy this, paste it down here, and just change this to y, and it's the same thing. And then you can do new part.position equal vector3.new, and then you can just take this, and we should actually probably change this to z instead of y, so we can keep it all on the same level. So I don't know, maybe 5 or something like that. And then comma, and then you just input the z type. Okay, and actually, let's just do workspace dot baseplate dot position plus vector 3. Okay, just so it makes more sense, so it's above the baseplate. Or actually, let's put this to maybe 15 because I'm not really sure how big the baseplate is. Oh, and actually just change these minuses, they need to be in front because otherwise it doesn't really make sense. And now if I click on this, as you can see, it will spawn 10 random parts in random directions and positions. But as you can see, after a while they're still here, which is kind of annoying because I don't want random parts to be inside of the game forever. So we will introduce a debris. So go at the top of your script, push it down, and then do local debris equals game get service and then debris. What this does, this is basically a service that allows you to delete parts at certain times. So if I go a line down, then do debris and then colon add item and then input new part and then do comma, and you can see here a lifetime, which is, I don't know, we can do maybe 5 seconds. So now when I click on it, the parts spawn. And after 5 seconds, I think they should delete. Yeah, they're gone. Okay, so that works great. But now we obviously want to connect explosions to these parts. And to do that, it's really simple. We can just copy this from before and then input it down here and just paste this new part. And I think that should work great actually. And now when I click on it, it spawns a lot of explosions. And you can literally kind of spam it. I mean, we do have a debounce of 1 second, so not really spam it. But you can repeatedly click it and spawn explosions. Oh, and you can even die. And I'm not sure how. What's going on? Okay, I didn't count on this. I'm not really sure what happened, so I can kind of walk. But my avatar is here. If I go on the server side. Wow, okay, I just found a new glitch. So apparently you can trick the client side into like leaving your body there, but you're not actually there because on the server side I'm here. Okay, but even like this, the parts just kind of stay and are visible, and that's not really that fun. So I think we can do something a bit better with them. Okay, so we've covered the explosions, but also we can kind of see our parts, which is not probably ideal. So what we can do is new part dot transparency equals 1, and we can also do new part dot size equal to vector 3 dot new, and then you can literally just change it to 0.1, 0.1, 0.1. So this will be extremely small and we won't be able to see it. So we can just create explosions and there are no visible parts. And they also get deleted after 5 seconds, so it doesn't really create any lag or anything like that. Okay, so we've covered the explosions, but I want to add something else now. Click on the plus button on the button, and you can create a particle emitter here, so you can see that particles are coming out of it. For now, let's go to the properties tab and just, where it is, okay, enable, and click on it so we can actually disable it. Okay, and just for now, you can select all of this and click, in my case it's Control Shift and then 7. It might not be 7 or something else, so basically or you can just like select it all and then right click and do toggle comment, so it will just create comment, so this thing won't actually fire or do anything because it's a comment. And now we can also create a variable up here for the particle emitter, so I will call it emitter, click detector dot parent dot particle emitter. So down here what we can do is when it's clicked, dot enabled equals not emitter dot enabled. And this probably doesn't make sense if you're new to the studio and scripting overall. This value currently is false because we set it off, and then it will be equal to something that is not emitter dot enabled. So because this is false, it will be equal to not false, which is actually true. And if it's true, it will set it to false. Okay, so now when I click on it, it enables the particles, and when I click on it again, it disables them. Okay, but what if I want them to emit only when I click it and then it stops automatically right after? For that we have an emit function, so we can delete all of this and then just do colon emit, and then inside of this a particle count. So for example, I will put 5 for now. And now when I click on it again, it will emit 5 particles and then just stop right after. Okay, but throughout this video you probably noticed one thing, because we have a delay when I click on it, can't actually click on it again for a second, but we have a kind of an illusion because it still has this icon that I can click on it, and it doesn't really make any sense. So let's fix that. So go to your script, and now we can actually change this click detector max activation distance. So it's a property inside of a click detector, basically from how far away you can click on it. And then what you will do is just set it to 0, and then when it's active again, we can set it to 32 or whatever the number is. So when I click on it, it doesn't get like this mouse clicking icon for a second, and then when it's enabled again, the mouse icon is again the click detector icon. Okay, so that's it from this video. I've shown you how to add particles to your part, how to create explosions, and if you want to see like a part 2 or a mini series from this, when I basically show you all the things you can create with only one button, then leave a like and also subscribe, and let me know in the comments what I should add to this button. Thanks for watching.